Good evening. My name is Caitlin.
And my name is Garrett.
And we are thrilled to welcome you to the 5th Annual Diversity Hall of Fame. All right now.
I'm just making sure the people at home are looking at my bad self.
All right.
Is there anything wrong with that?
On a more serious note, we have the distinct honor to introduce the man who's responsible for this evening.
But before we do that, I want to do something real quick. So, I want this side of the room to be orange and this side of the room to be power. We're going to do this 3 times, and it's going to be great. All right? On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Orange! Power! Orange! Power! Orange! Power!
I have always wanted to do that. But on a more serious note, we are here to introduce the man who has changed countless lives.
A man whose passion for diversity and inclusion stretches far beyond Oklahoma State.
The big dog himself, woo woo!
And our dad, Dr. Jason Kirksey.
Well, good evening. So that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me we couldn't pass up. So we're excited to have a student body president, my son who's here as an OSU freshman. So I feel pretty special and lucky to have them here. And you can't hear me? I'm not supposed to touch those. Can you hear me? So anyway, I am just full disclosure. So I'm a tad bit under the weather. So I need you to have a little grace with me and some patience. So I'm about 15 pounds lighter than I was last Friday night. So the suit looks much better on me, but I wouldn't recommend it as a form of weight loss. Doing a little better, but I'm traveling with Gatorade. I don't let it get too far from me. But we are certainly honored and excited to have all of you here with us this evening. Tonight we continue to elevate the stature of Oklahoma State University and our standard of inclusive excellence through a commitment of courage and a whole lot of common sense. You probably didn't notice on the way in, we tried to do something a little subtle, so as we continue to push standards with respect to inclusive excellence. So the songs were kind of focused on women and being respectful to women and recognizing the importance of women and women's empowerment. And that is just our subtle but noteworthy recognition of we're on the cusp of 100 years of the 19th Amendment, 1920. As a political scientist, that's certainly my bailiwick, but I didn't want us to miss the opportunity again as an institution to be able to elevate the standards and expectations of diversity and inclusion. And so we wanted to do that. You'll also notice in your programs, probably won't get past you once you start flipping it, but maybe I'll help you highlight it for you. We have more women than we do men. That wasn't an accident. That was intentional. Again, to certainly reflect the fact that our commitment looks, feels, smells, acts, and tastes differently here at Oklahoma State University. And so I will just tell you that we've had a pretty phenomenal year here at Oklahoma State University. We continue to elevate the institution as a beacon or a guidepost, if you will, for diversity and inclusion, not just here at Oklahoma State, but across the nation, and certainly something that each and every one of us should be proud of. So as we think about, and I just run through some of the quick highlights that you may not be aware of, where is Dean Tukowski at? So Dean Tukowski back there in seat was recognized as one of 28 exemplary models of colleges for diversity and inclusion, 28 across the nation. Yes. Saw my good friend Dr. Cisneros at. Where's Craig Cisneros at? I know you're here because I saw you. There you are. Craig just got inducted into the Hall of Fame of the PhD Project. If you don't know what the PhD Project is, Google it or catch Craig at dinner and go ask him. But we're certainly incredibly proud of Craig's recognition there and the impact that he's had with that program and brought to us here at Oklahoma State. And then, yes. And then finally, the $3.9 million that NSF reinvested in Phase 6 of the OKLSAMP program is certainly something that we are very proud of. And these are just a few of the pretty spectacular things that continue to occur here at Oklahoma State University. And finally, at a time when all across the nation, from our most prominent to our most obscure institutions, we see movements to remove and tear down and alter images and statutes of representing bigotry and hatred and intolerance. And our institution installed a sculpture after our first African-American student in 1949. It makes a very profound and just long-lasting statement about what our commitment is here at Oklahoma State University. And so I just want to, sorry, I'm trying to be new school and my kids tell me I gotta have stuff on my phone. But just to give us a sense, and then we'll talk about some other things tonight that are going on, as well as we are incredibly excited to be honoring a phenomenal class of Hall of Fame inductees and the impacts that they've had on this institution and beyond, as well as my engagements with them from, Catherine really helping me understand and how to better work with a culture that I didn't have much knowledge and awareness of, to the point that we have grown to where we're at. And certainly Dr. Perry doesn't know it, but she really taught me how to be a faculty member when I showed up and helped me grow in this role as an administrator when I got here. And certainly Dr. Chaney and I are good friends. He got busy and I got busy. We used to kind of have monthly lunches, but certainly the work that he's done and contributions he's made have been spectacular. And then, of course, Ann Oglesby. Ann is epitomizes the idea of a champion for diversity and inclusion. So most of you have no idea, but Ann has really been the force behind the continued support of our RISE program. RISE is a retention initiative for student excellence. Why that's such a big deal is because RISE is for first-year students. And so convincing corporate partners, so our corporate partners that are out there, I would encourage you that this is a fantastic model, that investing in students in that first year has a long-term payoff. I know we've got a couple of employees. We honored Jordan Knight last year as a rising star who was a RISE scholar. And so Ann has just been a tremendous champion. That program has enabled us to serve over 700 students and provide more than $500,000 in funding. And so, yes. So those things don't happen a lot and often, and Ann and Bill personally. Ann has been part of my Diversity Development Council that helped start off the capital campaign. And so just some of the hopefully highlights that we'll have to look forward to tonight. I'm gonna drink some more Gatorade, and I promise I'll get a little more energy, but certainly ask you to join me in welcoming a guy who needs no energy and is really, I get to say it all the time, my title is Chief Diversity Officer, but he really is. What happens on this institution in terms of inclusive excellence really stems from the top and permeates down throughout the campus. So please join me in welcoming President Burns Hargis to formally and officially kick us off.
Thank you, Jason. You keep it up, we're going to have to get you some new clothes. Well, welcome everybody. We're delighted you're here for, I don't know how many diversity award 5 so far, which has just been fantastic. And Ann and I, speaking of which, the first cowgirl of Oklahoma State, Ann Argus, is here. But we've enjoyed it, every one of them, and I'm just constantly amazed at the talent that has come out of this university and the chance to recognize a lot of you. And tonight is no exception. We have some wonderful, wonderful awardees. I'm really looking forward to the introduction. We've got Catherine, we got Katie, we got John, we got Ann. Well, we don't have Ann. Actually, Ann had a little fender bender and she's having a little surgery on her hand, but we got Amy and Matt tonight who will take care of that part of it. And then our rising stars, Cherdena and Daniel, Cherdena and Edward. And then we're going to honor the long time serving president of the OSU Foundation, Kirk Jewell, who has decided to retire. And I don't know what we'll do without him. So I'm looking forward to that and hoping we can talk him out of it. I want to congratulate Caitlin, who is a wonderful president of the SGA, as Jason said, and her brother Garrett, who really needs to liven up a little more. I mean, his personality is very withdrawn, very introverted, and we're hoping he'll come out of his shell here at some point. But nonetheless, we're very proud of Jason and Kim's children, both of whom are students here at Oklahoma State University. So I won't take any more time. I just want you to know that you're always welcome back at Oklahoma State, and just keep sending these talented people. We can really use them, and so can Oklahoma and the country. Go Pokes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, we always appreciate your support, and the first cowgirl for being here. At this moment, we're going to take advantage of a pretty special opportunity here at Oklahoma State. And so will you please join me in welcoming, I've got a script somewhere, Lenore Pearlson from Insight into Diversity magazine. Lenore is the co-owner and, come here, baby. I've got a full description of you. Thank you. Sorry, I told you. Bear with me. Lenore is president and co-owner of Potomac Publishing, Inc., publisher of Insight into Diversity magazine. It's the largest and most well-respected national diversity and inclusion publication and website in higher ed. Lenore is the founder and president of Campus Climate Surveys. Please join me in welcoming Lenore Pearlson.
Wow, that's a bright light. Jason must not be feeling well because we've known each other 8 years and it seems like he doesn't know who I am. But I adore Jason. I think he's an amazing man. So as he mentioned, I am the publisher and owner of Insight into Diversity magazine, which is the oldest and largest diversity and inclusion magazine in higher education today. Some of you who may be just a tad bit older might actually remember us as the Affirmative Action Register, which dates back to 1974. So I've owned the magazine since 2007, and in 2009 I changed the name to Insight into Diversity to be more reflective of the times and our own company's mission to advance the conversation on diversity and inclusion in higher education and beyond. In 2012, I realized that many schools were doing so much great work in diversity and inclusion across their campuses, yet no one was recognizing their work. So I created the Insight into Diversity Higher Education Excellence in Diversity Award, or as we call it, the HEAT Award. This is the only application-based national award for colleges and universities that really show an outstanding commitment to diversity and inclusion throughout their campus. The HEAT Award application is extremely comprehensive and can take many people across campus and sometimes many weeks to complete. The questions we ask relate to recruitment and retention programs for underrepresented students and employees, best practices, leadership support, and many other aspects of diversity and inclusion. Each school receives 2 scores. The first is embedded in the application. The second is given after our committee's review of each application. We do use both scores in our review, but we also take a holistic approach to deciding who and who will not be named to HEAT school, much like a college admissions officer would. For instance, while we ask for student retention and graduation rates, we know this data reflects the past and not necessarily current and future efforts, which are just as important in our decision-making process. So in 2019, we received a record number of applications at nearly 300, and we selected 94 institutions as HEAT Award winners. I'm really proud to be here tonight to tell you that Oklahoma State University is not only a 2019 HEAT Award winner, but this is your 8th year in a row to have received the award. In addition, you're only one of 8 schools in the entire country and the only one in Oklahoma to receive the award every year since its inception. Among the 2019 recipients, there are institutions that scored and ranked in the very top tier of our HEAT Award schools. They have earned the additional distinction of being named a diversity champion school by us. This is an elite, coveted, invitation-only national recognition. There were only 16 schools this year nationwide that we selected as diversity champions, and Oklahoma State is one of them, and this is now your 3rd year to receive this honor. Several other diversity champion schools you might know include Clemson University, also orange, Columbia University, Florida State, Indiana, Rochester Institute of Technology, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, University of Kentucky, University of South Carolina, and Virginia Tech. So as you can see, you're on an elite list of top-tier institutions. Winning awards like the Diversity Champion and the HEAT Award takes a lot of people, time, and hard work. I want to recognize your Vice President for Institutional Diversity and Chief Diversity Officer, Dr. Jason Kirksey, for his continued leadership throughout the years. He and his partners, including many of you, on and off campus, have made a tremendous commitment to all aspects of campus diversity and inclusion here at OSU. I've gotten to know Dr. Kirksey very well over the past 8 years, and he truly is a role model to everyone in higher ed doing this difficult and challenging but rewarding work. Having accomplished so much in this area also takes a lot of financial resources. I really want to thank everyone here tonight that has supported and contributed to all of the efforts here at OSU. Know that your hard-earned dollars have helped level the playing field for so many underrepresented students, and that you have given so many of them the ability to not only enroll in college and graduate, but you're helping lead them down the path to a successful career as they enter the global workforce we live in today. Each of you has made an impact in someone's life, and I ask that you continue to offer your amazing support, because every student should be given an opportunity to be a superstar. We also know this work is never done, and that no school can become a HEAT Award winner and a diversity champion for so many years without the support from its leadership. President Hargis has made substantial contributions to making your school such a diverse and welcoming campus where students and employees can successfully live, learn, and work. I really want to thank him personally for all of his efforts over the year as well. As a nationally recognized diversity champion institution, OSU is now a role model for thousands of other colleges and universities around the country. And so on behalf of the entire staff of Insight into Diversity magazine, we offer our sincerest congratulations to everyone here tonight. And I'd like to present President Hargis and Dr. Kirksey with the 2019 Diversity Champion Award.
We also have our regent and vice chairman of the regents, Rick Davis, coming up to take a picture with us. Is there a photographer? Oh, you're out there, okay. You gotta hurry, my left hand's getting. Thank you, Lenora.
All right. Thank you, Lenore, so much for being here. I know it's not always easy to travel, and I think you only travel for the special ones, I think it's fair to say. But anyway, we're going to go with that anyway. But thank you so much for being here. At this point in the program, Jess, is my monitor supposed to be on down here? I don't see anything. At this point in the program, I am going to do a couple of quick things. One is back in June of 2013, I keep doing this, so if I use too much air. Back in June of 2013, Kirk, I'm sure you don't remember this, but you and Jan were out at the Carmike, and my wife and I were out there, and you came over and said hi, and you said, listen, I got a young guy that's coming in a couple weeks, and I've encouraged him to talk to you, and he wants to do diversity. And so I said, okay. And so that young guy came in a couple weeks, June 21st, I recall, June. And so we spent about 2 hours together. And then about 6 months later, we started what was certainly an unconventional and certainly unprecedented for us and a lot of schools around the country, and an innovative capital campaign. So I went to the president and said, I really need some money for scholarships. And so he looked at me and he said, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, well, I need about $1 million. And, I said, he's the president, he's got quite a bit of money. And so he says, well, go raise it. Okay, I'd never raised money before. And so Craig came on board. We came up with a campaign with the $1.65 million goal. This past June, we ended that campaign. And so a number of you I visited, I've called, we've had dinners, coffee, Starbucks, all kinds of things. But I just want you to indulge me here real quick. If you participated in the Institutional Diversity Capital Campaign over the last 5 years, would you stand up for me so we can thank you for your participation? And don't make me start calling out names, because, so we ended in June at $6.4 million. So where's Jeremy at? So there's Jeremy back there. So Jeremy is the new person that was running me around the country and having me fundraise and finished off the last 3 years. So thank you, Jeremy, for your efforts in that. And apparently we've got a new one coming. So just when you think your checkbooks are safe, we've got $2 million campaign coming. So I'll be coming your way again soon. So please take my calls. But I tell you all of that because it's in part of what's really created certainly the impact that Kirk Jewell has had on this institution's commitment to diversity and inclusion. The second story I'm going to tell you is, so we talked about the sculpture. What you don't know is the story behind the sculpture. So somewhere back here, Joe Weaver is hiding. Where are you at, Joe? Right back there in the back. So Joe Weaver sent me an email Saturday morning, Saturday, September 30th, 9:25 a.m. How do I know? Because when the VP for Administration and Finance sends you an email, it's usually followed by, and your reduction amount will be. And so, right, Saturday morning, 9:30, what? Wow, what does that look like? And it was about something that he had seen on ESPN. The University of Kentucky had created a sculpture for the first four black football players in the SEC and at the University of Kentucky. So he said, do you think we could do something like this? I think it'd be really neat and a great project for the campus. Absolutely. And so, but I was wise enough to tell Joe, yeah, but you got to go ask the president. And so that was Saturday, November the 30th. By October the 9th, it was a wrap. And it was a wrap because if you haven't seen Miss Davis's sculpture, I encourage you to go see it. But what I will tell you is it's not a mound of clay. And creating a bronze sculpture is an endeavor, and it costs a little bit. And so my immediate thought after, we did all this is, oh, that's awesome. And an email shot in from Kirk that said, we got it. That, right? Really? Go back? Yeah, we got it. Right? And then Joe popped in and said, whatever else, we got it. That's impressive. And it's impressive because, and I told the story at the unveiling, it's two guys that if we'd had 100 chances, we probably never would have said, oh yeah, those are the ones. And the moral of the story is it teaches us to not spend our time looking for enemies and recognize the allies and advocates and ambassadors that surround us every day. And Kirk is truly one of those ambassadors. And so this was all supposed to be a big surprise, and we had all this elaborate ruse going on, and then Lynn shows up, his sister from California, or get a note. So I sent Kirk a note and said, Kim and I would love for you and Jan to join us at our table, because he's such a humble guy. If I would have said, we want to induct you into the Diversity Hall of Fame, and he said, no. And so I had to figure out a plan. And so the plan was, my monitor is still not on, so I'm going to keep talking. And so the plan was to figure out how to get them here. So he sent a note back and said, Jan and I would be honored to sit with you and Kim. So I thought, awesome. And then 2 days later, he sent back a note and said, I'm sorry, my sister is coming from California, and I only see her every couple years. And so I thought, I wonder if Jan told Lynn, and so Lynn's coming. So, right, where's Stephen at? Steve and I were, so did this happen and that? So no, so it was a coincidence that Lynn came, but we're excited that she was able to be here tonight to see Kirk receive this award. But Kirk has been, certainly for me, he's my go-to guy. When I needed something, got a student who's about to graduate, owes 10 grand, I got 2, hit the president up for a couple. Kirk, what do you need? I don't think Dr. Nelson's here. We do a summer academy. The state stopped funding it, so we were thinking we weren't going to be able to do it. I sent Kirk a note. What do you need? I can come up with 5, and great. Well, we got it done. And we had Up With People here last year. Again, they weren't a cheap endeavor, but wonderful for the community. Call Kurt, what do you need? And that's just how he's been. And that impact on our commitment to diversity and inclusion. So you heard Lenore talk about we're one of 8. in the nation. There are over 4,000 Title IV accredited institutions in the nation. This place is one of 8 in the nation that plaque will hang on that inclusive excellence wall across the street for folks to see that come here, visit here, that go to school here. That matters. That's important. That says something about the commitment of this institution. And Kirk has been an integral part of that. And so the surprise is up, Kirk. So tonight, please join me in welcoming Kirk Jewell as our special recognition inductee into the OSU Diversity Hall of Fame.
Come here. So I've been here a little over 16 years. Hopefully I won't be here 17. I've seen a lot of incredible things happen at OSU in the last 16 years. Boone Pickens Stadium, branding success, the new business school, the new McKnight Center opened. I mean, just a lot of amazing things that have happened on Burns and Ann's watch. Of all those things that I've been involved in, none of them am I prouder of than Nancy Stutch. And I really do want to give Joe Weaver the credit for coming up with the idea. He was telling me about the idea and how it came about. And I said, if you can get this approved, I'm in. We'll take care of it. And so you've heard about all the awards that OSU and this department has earned, but the reality is in the fundraising business, it's all about relationships. And there isn't a better person at building relationships, regardless of your color or your viewpoints or your gender, than this man right here. And we are incredibly, incredibly grateful and honored to have Jason at Oklahoma State University. Thank you. Oh. You gonna give me that, or you gonna keep it?
Well, we got to take a picture.
Oh, picture. Okay.
Let's see the president.
Oh. Yeah, sharp too. It is. Okay. Congratulations.
All right. Oh, now my monitor's working. Thank you. So I need to do some thank yous here real quick, and then I'll get out of your way. I got a long list of thank yous. So tonight's an important and special night for us, obviously. But the fact that we've got so many folks who made the decision when we're all incredibly busy to be here says a lot about, again, where we're at as an institution. So I am going to start with Vice Chairman of the Oklahoma A&M Board of Regents, Rick Davis. Can you stand for us, and his lovely wife, Pam. Obviously, President Hargis and Ms. Hargis, thank you so much. So this next group, I'm going to ask you to stand, and we'll hold our applause so we can do it all as one, to save time because my monitor's running. OSU Tulsa President Pam Fry, did Kirk at the foundation, you don't have to say standing. Senior Vice President for Administration and Finance, Joe Weaver. Vice President for Student Affairs, Dr. Doug Hallenbeck. Vice President for Research, Dr. Kenneth Sewell. You got to stand and keep standing so we can applaud you as a group. Vice President and Dean, Dr. Tom Kuhn. From the Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, Assistant Provost, Dr. Jeanette Mendez. Dean Sheila Johnson from the library. Dean Carlos Risco from College of Veterinary Medicine. Dean Randy Kluver from Global Studies and Partnerships. Dean Glenn Kreutz from Arts and Sciences. Dean Paul Tukowski from College of Engineering, Architecture, and Technology. Dean Stephen Wilson from College of Education, Health and Aviation, and Human Sciences. Deputy Athletic Director Chad Weiberg. And Blair Atkinson, President of the OSU Alumni Association. Let's thank them and applaud them as a group for doing good. And then there are a couple of other important dignitaries that I want to make sure we recognize. Chief James Floyd from Muskogee Nation is here with us. Thank you, Chief Floyd. And Danny Wells, Executive Director for Education of Chickasaw Nation, is here with us. Thank you. Then we also have some student VIPs from our various affinity groups. Andrea Jackson, our Miss Black OSU. Michelle Ferrero, our Miss Hispanic Latina OSU. Valentino Brito, Mr. Hispanic Latino OSU. Sarah Karki, Miss Asian OSU. And I'm going to mess this one up, but Kiji Moa, Mr. Asian OSU. And finally, I promise I'm almost done, I want to thank our sponsors. But that's a good problem to have, it's okay. So our institutional diversity partners is our OSU Development Council. So Dennis Neal, Derek Driver's here somewhere, and Oglesby. I think they're the only ones that are here, but there were 10 individuals that were a part of that, and so we want to thank them for being our highest level partner, our institutional diversity partner. Obviously, the Office of the President, our diversity ambassadors, my wife and I are there, more her than me. Our institutional diversity allies, Paul and Mabel Caldwell's been with us, I think, all 5 years. They are. Bill and Ann Oglesby. Our friends at OGE. The OSU Alumni Association, Blair and her team, thank you. The OSU Division of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, thank you. Vice President Kuhn and your team. OSU Division of Student Affairs, thank you, Dr. Hallenbeck. OSU Foundation, Corporate and Foundation Relations, thank you, Steve and Stacy and that crew. OSU Division of Academic Affairs, thank you, Provost Sandifer. OSU Division of the Vice President for Research, thank you, Dr. Sewell. Our friends at Phillips 66, thank you for being here. And then our table sponsors, I'm going to read through Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, ExxonMobil, Koch, Oklahoma African American Educators Hall of Fame, OSU Center for Sovereign Nations, OSU College of Arts and Sciences, OSU College of Educational Health and Aviation, OSU College of Engineering, Architecture and Technology, OSU Department of Psychology, OSU Spear School of Business, Holly Frontier Companies, University and Community Federal Credit Union. Thank you all so very much. This dinner wouldn't be possible without your support. So with that, as promised, I am done. Please enjoy your dinner, and we will start back here briefly. So please continue to enjoy your dinner. We are going to go ahead and get going so we don't keep you here too late tonight. There were a couple of recognitions that I missed. Former Oklahoma A&M Board of Regents, Dr. Claude Evans is here with his wife, Elaine. Thank you, Regent Evans. And then I was informed that I forgot to thank my family because somehow I took it out of script or something. But my wonderful wife, Kim, is here. He puts up with me through all this every year and formats the program, makes the program, all those great things. You, of course, met my wonderful children, my son Garrett, my daughter Caitlin, and I'm really excited that I've got, so some of you often wonder, where I came from in Denver, but I have two older brothers, as some of you know, and so we're all 3 years apart, but I was able to manage to drag them out of the great state of Mississippi, and so my oldest brother, Mario, he's too cool to stand, and then my middle brother, Vincent. And so that's not me. Stand up, Vince. Just so if you run into him in the hallway somewhere, that's not me. No, don't get us confused. He's 3 years older, but thank you for being here. That means a lot to us. So the purpose of the Hall of Fame is to recognize individuals who have made a significant impact on the legacy of Oklahoma State University. And so that's part of the goal of this. That's the major part of the goal. The other part of the goal is on your tables. So I told you about that $2 million I got coming. So we got old school. You want to write a check or stick some cash in there. Or new school. Flip over this card. It's got a QR scan. You can start giving instantly. So those are there on your table. If not, we have plenty of them around. But I encourage you to take a look at those, take those with you, and certainly consider making a gift and continuing the transformational impacts that we're able to have here at Oklahoma State University. So tonight we are recognizing 2 rising stars and inducting 4 more individuals into the Hall of Fame. In your program is the list of all the previous inductees into the Diversity Hall of Fame. This is, of course, the 5th year of the Hall of Fame, so once is luck, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a pattern. So I guess 5 means we're in good shape. I'm going to introduce our 2 MCs that we're excited to have with us tonight, including one young man who apparently just got an internship with Pepsi, I understand, Eric. So we're excited about that. Eric Mejia is a senior in industrial engineering and management from Oklahoma City. He's been a member of Voto Latino, the RISE program, the Inclusion Leadership Program, Student Support Services, all division programs, a mentee of the Phillips 66 Mentorship Program, and former president of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. His current involvement includes the Hispanic Student Association, Destino OKL SAMP, Forbes 30 Under 30 Scholars, and a brother of Sigma Lambda Beta International Fraternity Incorporated. Please join me in welcoming Eric. And our second MC is Bethany Cannon. Bethany is a senior accounting major from Stillwater. She's been a new student orientation leader, a peer mentor, and a freshman orientation teaching assistant. Bethany is also a member and former reporter of the Chi chapter of Beta Alpha Psi, the Accounting Honor Society on campus. Currently, she is a tutor for OSU School of Accounting and a teaching assistant. Bethany is also a cast member in OSU's Allied Arts production of A Midsummer Night's Dream, which will be performed in November. Next semester, she will take part in the Kaggle Spring Break in Japan Study Abroad program through the Spear School of Business. Please join me in welcoming Eric and Bethany to the stage.
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Kirksey. Tonight, we will highlight the many incredible contributions of our honorees, but we would like to encourage you to read their full bios in your programs. Let's get started. At this time, we would like to honor our Rising Star recipients. Our first Rising Star recipient is Cherdena Daniel. Cherdena graduated from OSU with a Bachelor of Science in Interior Design. She has worked on a variety of projects across the U.S., including medical facilities, restaurants, residential, and commercial facilities. Cherdena is the CEO of Carmel Doll Keepsakes, Creative at Heart Graphics, and is the director of the Miss Black Oklahoma City pageant. Please welcome Cherdena Daniel to the stage.
Good evening. Thank you for the warm welcome. The building stood, basking in the rhythm of an ancient, timeless dance, telling a story of reflections and recollections of a journey in design. Onlookers stood, forever changed by its presence. With fresh dreams, inspired by a passion for creativity, I wrote this poem 25 years ago as a freshman majoring in architecture. The poem symbolizes my visions of grandeur in design. I had it all planned out. I breezed through the program, immediately began my stellar design career, and bestowed my creative genius upon the world. Then, second semester happened. I remember it vividly. It was 1993. Yes, that's showing my age. The first day of Design Studio 1. I sat down at my drafting station, which literally became my home for the next 4 years. I look around. No one's smiling. Still, I smile. I noticed that I am the only African-American person in the room of about 50 students. That's okay. I'm social. I can make friends. I received my assignment. I have no idea what to do. I look over at my colleagues and proceed to ask questions. Silence. So much for making friends. I began to mimic others, drawing a series of straight lines with a T-square. But I wasn't doing it right. And as you can imagine, no one bothered to explain it to me. I think to myself, am I missing something? Everyone else seems to know what to do. I flounder, yet manage to finish. I'm feeling pretty good until the professor comes to my desk. He proceeds to mark up my project in 30 seconds flat, all the while degrading my talent, attacking my character, and questioning my existence in his class. I look around again. As the sole African American student, I ask myself, why? Why am I the only one receiving this type of treatment? The OSU Division of Institutionalized Diversity exists for a reason. I wouldn't be standing here today if it didn't. I could have easily gotten lost in the shuffle of thousands of students on campus with a deflated spirit. But programs like the Minority Engineering Floor advocated for my existence. It called the sting by creating safe places, voices of inspirations, and platforms to flourish. It was a brilliant concept, grouping minority engineering majors on a single dorm floor. We were the envy of other students because we lived in the only building that provided suites with full bathrooms. Most of these dorms were inhabited by athletes, but here we were, aspiring engineering architects. We were living our best life. We studied together, partied together. There was a sense of belonging. It became a community, my community. Despite the isolation, the unequal treatment I was experiencing, the fourth floor of Bennett Hall became my sanctuary. It literally changed the trajectory of my path. It was there that I met and married my next door neighbor and the love of my life, Ed. We became inseparable. Well, he blames me for his grades dropping the first semester. And I admit, it's true. But hey, what can I say? Love is love. Thanks, OSU, for playing matchmaker to an undescribable love. It doesn't stop there. Some of the best years of my life happened because of the diversity programs at OSU. I made lifelong friends through Black student government, Black Greek life, and my sorority sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I flourished in the interior design department and even became a junior designer for the architectural services under the leadership of Marneth Ball. I became colleagues to the professors that questioned my existence. As I reflect back on my experiences, I am humbled and grateful that these programs still exist. There have been countless lives changed for the better. Today I am being honored, but really it is you, OSU diversity, that deserves the honor. So I want to do so. I want to give you honor. Ultimately, I honor you by paying it forward, investing in future generations. The best way I know how to express my reverence is by completing the story that I started in the beginning. Remember how I was isolated? This is the new story. It's the year 2019. I sit down at my drafting desk, now a computer. I look around. No one is smiling. Still, I smile. I am still the only African American in the room. I'm social, but not only do I make friends, I broker partnerships and mentorships to help the next upcoming designers execute their visions of grandeur. I acquire design projects. I become the professor, critiquing and scrutinizing my own work. No one questions my existence. They recognize my legacy. For I am the building that stands, steadfast, grounded by grace and mercy, basking in the rhythm of an ancient timeless dance, telling my story of reflections and recollections of a design journey as future designers look on, forever changed by my presence. It's because of you, OSU, that I can. Thank you. I'd like to thank Dr. Kirksey and the entire Division of Institutional Diversity for choosing me for the Rising Star Award. I'd like to also thank the Department of Human and Environmental Sciences and also the Architectural Services Department. I'd also like to thank my family for always supporting me, To my loving husband, thank you for being there always, unwavering. To my children, Gabby, Kristen, Eddie J, Evan, and Sophie. Yes, I have 5. You are the greatest accomplishment I could have ever done, and I always will love you. And last but not least, I am thankful to the Creator, who is the author and finisher of my faith. Thank you for this great honor.
Our final rising star is Dr. Edward J. Daniel Sr. Dr. Daniel earned his bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees in electrical engineering from OSU. Dr. Daniel is a senior technical lead engineer for the Boeing Company and serves on the Industrial Advisory Board for the School of Electrical and Computer Engineering at Oklahoma State University, and was also selected as an OSU Leadership Legacy in 2002. Please help me welcome Dr. Daniel to the stage.
Thank you for that introduction. And I am wondering how am I going to follow that? As you guys know, she is my better half, and she said it all. But I got a few minutes, so I'm going to say a few things. So if you read my bio, you can see that in my career, I was a world traveler. I was a protector of freedom because I worked on the B-2 bomber. I was a rocket scientist because I worked on satellite programs. And yes, I was a spy because I interned with the CIA. Just call me Bond, James Bond. Well, my middle name is James, but close enough. Well, my journey was like an action adventure story. But the foundation of my life and my career has origins here at Oklahoma State University, all symbolized in 3 things that I keep with me at all times. 1, my OSU class ring. It represents this great university and the education that I received here. It truly changed the trajectory of my life. And the diversity programs here at Oklahoma State made a huge difference. As my wife mentioned, we were part of the minority engineering program, which allowed us to group engineering students together in both our living area in the dorms and also in our classrooms. I was part of the National Society of Black Engineers, or S-Beta at the time, where I learned leadership. I was part of the LSAMP program, which Dr. Kirksey mentioned earlier, which introduced me to research. I was part of the Black Student Government, what we call Afro-Am, which allowed me to connect with my peers on issues facing minorities. The Black alumni gave me a scholarship to continue my education. And my dear Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is where I learned to serve my community. And of course, the diversity office, as my wife mentioned, was a safe haven for us minority students. They all contributed to me being a well-rounded person. Number 2, the inscription on the inside of my class ring, it simply reads, "Glory to Jesus." Now, engineering was tough, don't get me wrong. My classes were tough. I was overwhelmed with the university. I felt like a small fish in a big pond, wondering if I could make it. I was on my own, a young man that could not turn back. It was make it or break it for me. As I attended class, I vividly remember in Engineering North, they had Hall of Fame plaques with individuals I couldn't identify with, but I dared to dream. I said, one day I want to be on that wall. Even though I was struggling, I dared to dream. But I took that dream and added hard work. And I also added prayer and a dependence on the Lord. I prayed through every exam, class, project that I had, and I'm still praying today and depending on the Lord. So I do owe all of my success to my Lord and Savior. The third thing that I keep with me at all times is my wedding ring. Tonight is a special night, not only because I get to share the stage with my beautiful bride, Cherdena, but we met here over 25 years ago in a diversity program, and she has been my inspiration ever since. And not only is she talented, as you all see, but she is the mother of our 5 children. So I want to introduce my 5 children. We got Cheryl. Please stand up. They didn't know I was going to call them out here today, so stand up, stay standing. Kristen, Edward Jr., Evan, and Sophia. So President Hargis, Dr. Kirksey, continue to invest in diversity, for we are living proof that seed sown over 25 years ago is still bearing fruit. And the soil here at Oklahoma State University is rich. So I'd like to thank my family, the Boeing Company, the College of Engineering, Architecture, and Technology, Dr. Kirksey, the OSU Division of Institutional Diversity, and all of his staff for this great honor. Thank you.
The first inductee of the evening is Dr. John Chaney. Dr. Chaney is a citizen of the Muskogee Nation, a Regents Professor of Psychology, and a recipient of an OSU Regents Distinguished Research Award. Dr. Chaney has over 125 publications, directs the American Indians into Psychology program, and serves as director of OSU's Center for American Indian Studies. Please welcome Dr. Chaney to the stage.
Thanks a lot. I needed that. How's everyone doing? Well, I want to first thank you, President Hargis, and Dr. Kirksey, as well as the OSU Hall of Fame Committee for this incredible honor. I also want to again recognize the tribal nation leaders and their families that are here tonight, OSU administration, faculty, staff, and students, my friends and colleagues, and the other honorees tonight. I especially want to recognize my family, including my wife, my sister and her husband, my parents-in-law, our children, and my father, Jackson Steele Chaney, who was a 1961 OSU civil engineering graduate, among the first in a long line of OSU Native American engineers. Isn't that a cool name, Jackson Steele? I mean, hey, kill for that. I would also like to take just a brief moment to recognize the original inhabitants of the place where we are tonight, present-day Stillwater. And I'm also proud to say that Oklahoma State University continues to serve the descendants of those original inhabitants, as well as the citizens of the 39 tribal governments located in Oklahoma. Now I want to share just a couple of thoughts. I'll be quick. First, I'm a firm believer that effort and ability are key ingredients to success. However, in the absence of genuine opportunity, those ingredients are just a lot of potential. with no place to go. This tremendous Hall of Fame honor is a perfect example of what can happen when effort is combined with the kinds of extraordinary opportunities that I've had at Oklahoma State University. Since arriving here, I've been supported and mentored by 4 department heads. For nearly 3 decades, they provided me with opportunities to maximize my ability to influence the educational narrative for hundreds of Indian students through the American Indians in the Psychology program, and for that I'm truly grateful. And I'm going to ask them to stand. I think 3 of you are here tonight. Would you stand up, department heads? Dave, Maureen, Thad? Thank you. I think it's also important to recognize that opportunity can't be realized without committed and effective infrastructure. At Oklahoma State, I've been the beneficiary of a higher learning environment in which the regents, president, provost, vice presidents, deans, heads, faculty, and staff have all invested in creating an atmosphere where opportunities can be realized by students of every race and every culture. Even the success of the American Indians in the Psychology program over the past 22 years represents the efforts of a team of dedicated professionals. As the director, I'm guided by a 20-member advisory board comprised of OSU faculty and staff, as well as tribal mental health and education specialists from across the state of Oklahoma. And get this, they volunteer their time and expertise in support of Indian students. And a lot of those are with us tonight. Could I ask you all to stand? Those that are members of my AIP advisory board, please stand up. Thank you all for keeping me out of the ditch. Under the leadership of President Hargis and the direction of Dr. Kirksey, we've seen steady increases in both the number and graduation rates for students of color over the last 10 years. Also during this time, in 2015, OSU established the Center for Sovereign Nations to provide focused services to our Native American students. In addition to receiving the Higher Education Excellence and Diversity Award for 8 consecutive years. Good job. OSU is #1 in the nation among public land-grant colleges and universities for graduating Native American students since 2010. From 2013 to 2017, OSU ranks first nationally in Native American PhDs among doctorate-granting institutions, and we lead the nation in graduating Native American engineers and clinical psychology PhDs. As inspiring as those numbers are, it seems like there's always more to do. But my experience at OSU assures me that each of us in this room and the entire OSU family have a shared commitment to meet any challenge, and we will continue to provide extraordinary opportunities for all our students. I want to say thank you again for this incredible honor, and thank you all for being here tonight. Mado, and go Pokes.
Ann Oglesby is our second inductee. Ann earned her Bachelor of Science in Engineering from OSU. She is the Vice President of Technology and Lead Executive of Phillips 66 with more than 30 years experience in the energy and petrochemicals industries. Ann's generous contributions support our highly successful retention initiative for Student Success Excellence Program, also known as RISE. She is the Phillips 66 liaison for OSU and member of the OSU Diversity Development Council. Her children, Matt and Amy, will accept the award on her behalf.
As you can probably guess, neither of us is Ann Oglesby, but we'll get this out of the way really quick. Yes, I'm aware I look exactly like her. I've heard it my whole life. So in the homecoming hustle and bustle here in Stillwater, my parents got into a little fender bender, and so Mom is on her way, if not currently in surgery for a broken hand. But if I know my mom, she will be at walk around and cheering on the Cowboys just with a one-handed go Pokes the rest of this weekend.
So as Amy mentioned, we're here to give her speech, and please excuse us if we are a little bit stuttery. We found out we were doing this about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Yep.
It may have been the medicine kicking in, but Mom wanted us to give her speech for her. Yeah, neither of us are able to fill our mom's shoes, but with Amy being an OSU grad,
Go Pokes,
and myself a mechanical engineer at Phillips 66, hopefully together we can make a pretty good team. So we're both so proud of her and honored to be here with her tonight, or not with her, and to stand up here and accept this award.
So without further ado, this is what our mom would like to share with you tonight. Thank you, Dr. Kirksey and the institutional diversity staff for this honor. Thank you to my Phillips 66 colleagues and my good friends who made an effort to be here tonight. I know how incredibly busy you all are, and it means a great deal to me. Thank you to my children, Amy and Matt, who are here tonight. Both of my kids are literally in the midst of major life events. One is closing on a new house tomorrow, and one is getting married in 16 days. So to have them here, so to have them here is an unexpected joy. And finally, thank you to my husband, Bill, who is my absolute 100% teammate. Everything I've ever done that's been anything worthwhile has included Bill. We think that she was talking about us on that part. So I want to soak up this room for a moment. What a glorious sight it is. First, there is a lot of America's brightest orange here. But even more importantly, I see so much visible diversity. Women, men, Black, Hispanic, American Indian, white, Asian, very young, like my 5-month-old grandson, her grandson, Brooks, and let's just say the significantly more experienced. There's the fast and the fit and the slow and the wise. And besides what I can see, I'm sure there is a rich diversity of things that I cannot see. Religions, backgrounds, and styles. You're looking very good, OSU family and friends.
I don't think I've ever been so humbled by an honor before. You see, I lack the overcoming adversity or mustering exceptional courage stories that so many of the other Diversity Hall of Fame honorees have. I even said to Dr. Kirksey whenever he called, "Are you sure?" He told me I was chosen. He used words like your support and inspiration and leadership. While I'm still not sure what I've done is particularly exceptional, it did make me reflect. I concluded that good things, even great things, come about when you really believe in something, when it's a value-based motivator that you get in your core of your being. I truly believe with all my full self that the more our university, our society, and our world can embrace differences, can invite, not just tolerate, everyone's perspective at the table, can accept that all of us have brains and hopes and dreams and talents, no matter what we look like on the outside or where we come from or what credentials we have on our resume. If we can keep pushing for a university, for a world that is inclusive of diversity, all of us will be better off. I've been involved with diversity initiatives for 30 years. I've had a lot of training. I've sat on a lot of committees. I've read and listened to a lot of people a lot smarter than me about this challenge that I've tried to give back. To be honest, some days I'm discouraged because we still have a long way to go. But not tonight. Tonight, I am encouraged by you, by what I see, by impressive advances in our diversity and our university, and by all of you. Thank you for this honor.
Dr. Katie Perry Bonner is our next recipient. Someone's excited back there. In 1979, Dr. Perry Bonner joined OSU as a minority lecturer in the College of Education. She was the first African American to serve as interim head of the School of Educational Studies in the College of Education, and helped create the position of Assistant Vice President and ultimately Vice President of Institutional Diversity. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Perry Bonner.
Thank you very much. This is dangerous because you'll notice I'm coming up here empty-handed. And I told people that I professed for a living. And as my resume would suggest, I did it for 35 years. Excuse my voice, I've been having allergy issues. But first, I want to thank those who coordinate this event each year. I am most impressed, first of all, with your presence and the elegance that is presented here each year. It is gorgeous, and I thank you for it. I try not to miss them. Secondly, I'd like to thank those who were a part of the committee that selected those of us who are being inducted tonight. When I received a call from Dr. Kirksey, I was like, Ann, are you kidding? I felt very, very humbled by it. I could echo what you have heard tonight in terms of what diversity means here at OSU. As a suggestor, I came here in 1979 in this university, in the area of diversity, did not look like this. As had just been suggested, that you find yourself being the only one. I was the first African American for many of my students. And I was the first African American to be present in all those classes. It was a good thing though, because you're dealing with people. And when you treat them with respect, as I had a student once say, well, she treats you like a colleague. You know you're connecting. I was introduced to a theory by a colleague of mine several years ago in the area of student development, Dr. Dickman, called campus ecology. And I don't know, it's something about that, the title of it that caught my attention. And what is that about? And in a very crude way, it's the interaction between student characteristics and campus characteristics. OSU has the reputation, and rightfully so, in general, of being a student-oriented campus. The student has a voice here, not necessarily for everyone, at least then. It's these kinds of initiatives that helps to give everyone a voice. And when a mention was made about the Minority and Diversity Office, that office was as important to faculty of color as it was to students. We hung there too, didn't we, Ed? And it warms my heart when I look out at many of you knowing that I taught you. And at one time I told somebody I need to leave here before I become a campus historian myself. But I appreciate the opportunities, the multiple opportunities that were given to me to serve on varying committees, chair them, where when opportunity would present itself, I made it apparent, where I could bring up issues of diversity. And just to share with you two humbling experience of many humbling experiences that I had a student from Turkey who asked me, Dr. Perry, why don't you get a Fulbright I said, a Fulbright? Yeah, I said, mm-mm. I said, first of all, I don't think I could fare very well by myself in a country alone. His thing was, you don't have anything to worry about. You can live with my parents. Inclusion. Another thing that impressed me, I had rotator cuff surgery about 10 years ago. About 10 years ago. And I had to go through therapy. And anyone who's had that surgery, they know if you're going to lift your hand like that, you got to go through the pain. Well, I had two students, one from Uzbekistan and the other one from the Ukraine, who insisted on taking me to therapy here regularly. But my thing was, my mom was here in the nursing home at the time. You have to take me to the nursing home so I can see my mom. No problem. And they would sit on my mom's bed as they watched me comb her hair, put her lipstick on, and put her earrings on. She had to be groomed for the day. That impressed them. Communication. I say all that to say, even just common interactions, the way we treat each other, can make a world of a difference. And as I have shared with so many, OSU opened the world to me. I have been to countries through my students, actually visited those countries as I've learned so much about them when I did not get a chance to go, but they are the ones who taught me. So if anything, what I'd like to do is to say thank you for the initiative that's been put forward to advance the need for not only diversity, but inclusion. Going back to that theory, it talked about a welcoming community and a community in which the sense of belongingness occurs. I can be welcome if do I really feel like I belong. And so I thank God and I thank this university for enabling me to develop a sense not only of being welcomed, but knowing that I belonged here. Thank you. I gave my sister, I said, before I sit down, say the name, Dr. President Hargis. Please know, as has already been suggested, these initiatives that could not come off in such a big and positive way without him and with the others in the top leadership positions. As we hear so often, as goes the top, goes everything. So I personally thank you for that. Now thank you and good evening.
Catherine VijayaKumar is our final inductee. Catherine VijayaKumar joined OSU's Office of Multicultural Affairs in 2002 as OSU's first Asian American Affairs coordinator. Catherine founded and served as a headmistress of an elementary school for over 15 years during her time in India. She co-founded the OSU Asian Alumni Association in 2010 and the Asian American Faculty Staff Association in 2006. Please welcome Catherine to the stage.
Take a picture. Is this okay here? You like it over here, okay?
Good evening, everyone. It is with great humility that I receive this honor. I would like to first thank our President Hargis and Dr. Kirksey for this award. When Dr. Kirksey approached me regarding a nomination, I was pleasantly surprised because I have known many of the former Diversity Hall of Fame inductees, and to be considered as one among them, including today's inductees, is a great honor to me. And come to think of it, it has been a long journey for me since I started off on my first job as a teacher in a women's college in India, to be precise, 37 years ago. And I would not have made it to this far without the support of my family members, great teachers, mentors, and great friends. I owe them all a great deal indeed. Before coming to OSU, I should say this. When I was here, first thing I wanted to know was how to get involved and get to know the community. And looking back, the first and the best thing that I did to myself was getting a graduate degree from Oklahoma State University. It helped me to get to know so many wonderful teachers. And they really helped me to learn things and grow fast with knowledge and appreciation of diversity and everything. And today, I'm so very happy to see one of my own professors, Dr. Katy Perry, being inducted today. Congratulations, Dr. Perry, and also to my fellow inductees as well. The years I spent at the Office of Multicultural Affairs were a great experience for me. Helping students of diverse backgrounds and helping them to grow and be successful not only academically, but also at a personal level, they were very enriching and meaningful experience for me. I consider the students that I mentored, they are like my extended family. Even till today, many of my students stay in connection with me. It's all about making connections. And then I also want to say that many of the students are doing very well, not only professionally, but also very happy at a personal level. And I'm so very grateful to Oklahoma State University for providing that great opportunity. As a co-founder of the Asian American Faculty and Staff Association, I had the unique privilege of getting to know many of our Asian faculty and staff. And together we worked and we came up with many programs. And one of the great programs they came up with was to provide scholarships to our Asian community here. And I'm so thankful to them for their kindness, their support, and friendship. I also owe my gratitude to my former supervisors, Dr. Howard Shipp and Dr. Phil Burdine, who were such wonderful mentors who believed in me and supported me. From day one, the person who really watched over me and mentored me to learn the rope and the campus culture was Dr. Pete Kozer. Dr. Kozer is here. I'm so honored to have him here. I never forget the lesson he taught me about the similarity between a rock and a leader. Thank you, Dr. Koser, for your support. Besides these wonderful mentors, the co-workers such as June Golliver, Brenda Morales, they made my work easier and livelier. A special mention about Dr. Elmo Sanders, who had been the longest serving director of our unit during my tenure at OSU. Her kindness, caring nature, and leadership qualities helped us all in steering through some difficult times. Many thanks to her. And Dr. Joni Hayes, who worked as a counselor in the same building, and her husband, Blaine Peters, they're very supportive in helping the students I served. Thanks for their kindness and friendship. I also would like to thank all of my friends, former colleagues, PEO sisters, and Snake Club officers who are here, and everyone who was here to show their support for diversity. Lastly, I would like to thank my husband and best friend, Dr. Moses VijayaKumar, popularly known as VJ, for his constant support, guidance, and an enormous amount of patience with me. He is my inspiration, and to him, I dedicate this award. Thank you, Vijay. I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate the Division of Institutional Diversity for organizing a great event like this to promote diversity on campus. Thank you all for your time.
Congratulations to our inductees and our rising stars. Thank you again for all your contributions to OSU and beyond. Please return to the stage following the event for pictures.
And as always,
Go Pokes.
So please join me again in thanking Bethany and Eric. So my goal was 90 minutes, but I think I messed it up, blathering about something. But anyway. There are some homecoming events. Tomorrow is the Black Alumni Golf Tournament, Lakeside Golf Course, I think 7:30. I was on somebody's team. I will not be there, but anyway, I'm on the team. And there is a tailgate, or actually in this room tomorrow night at 5:30 is the OSU Black Alumni Society Trailblazer Award. And then Saturday, I think at 1 o'clock, is a tailgate out in the International Mall. I would encourage all of you to make an effort to attend. So before we leave, if I can ask all of the team members for the Division of Institutional Diversity to stand for the yeoman's-like work that you did in putting this event together, so we could thank you. All the division team members would please stand. And there are a whole lot more who came and did a variety of things, but I want to give a special thank you to my administrative associate, Sunny Hardiman. I think Sunny may have, is she still here? Yes, no? Where? Oh, okay, she's outside. And to my executive administrative assistant, Candy Turner. So please, let me in. Thank you. If you will flip your programs over on the back, somebody at the table should discover a sticker. You are the winner of the beautiful centerpiece. So either take it or sell it to some of your friends or have them donate money. Thank you all for coming to our the 2019 OSU Diversity Hall of Fame. Thank you to our host state viewers, and good night and go Pokes.